Showtime.
It's about that time.
Let's go.
You're right where you need to be. This is GCOM Radio.
Hardest radio station on the planet. Yeah.
Powered by Lyfeblood.com.
We certified.
And hosted by Nova Phoenix.
Give them that flavor.
Yes. We are here once again. Thank you guys for listening to this show. As you saw it pop up in your notifications, and if you haven't subscribed to this show yet, please do. You are listening to Nova Phoenix, the host of GCOM Radio on iHeartRadio. Yes, I shout out iHeartRadio all the time, but I'm also on Spotify, I'm on SoundCloud, I'm on iTunes, and there is another one that's out there that I didn't even know I was on. It turns out that I'm on there too. I forgot the name of it, and I'll come back to it later. It was just like a brief thing I found online when I Googled GCOM Radio. But yeah, we're here again, man. How's your week since you last listened to the show? Hopefully productive. Chilling out with the fam and doing everything that you should be doing during this reset. I know how I have. I've been doing a number of different things as always, just trying to keep the rhythm during this corona thing. And no complaints. Always keeping busy. So yeah, I only have 2 topics. I usually have 3, and like I said, I was supposed to have 3, but I started late for a number of different reasons. So I got 2 strong ones. But I'll space it out over 3 segments, just because I like keeping that format, the trifecta, doing everything in 3s. So let's just get things going, man. What have I seen or heard or read about since doing the show? There's this group out of Oakland named Tao and the Get Down. They made their first Zoom music video. Yes, they did their damn thing with it. It was cool. Of course, you're limited in what you can do in Zoom, and everybody knows Zoom, where you communicate visually with the people that you want to connect with. And it was in a grid format, and it was, of course, 3 people on top, 2 people beside her, and 3 people below. She was in the center doing her song, and everybody was doing their choreographed number to the rhythm of the song. So that was kind of dope, of what this lady did. Her name Tao Nguyen did. And man. So I'm looking forward to what other creative things could come out of this while we're sitting at home trying to let this the mist. What do you call it? How should I say? The mist of death, or the death mist, pass by us. We'll see. So what else? Oh my God, I don't even have my water right now, and I'm gonna get my water a little later. So Kanye West is a billionaire, and you're probably saying to yourself, "Who cares?" I don't care either. I don't. So, but I'm just willing to say that he's a billionaire. He's roughly about $3 billion, and it's cool. It's all right. I don't want to sound like a hater. I'm not a hater. I do appreciate his own accomplishments. That's what's up. Big ups to Kanye. All right, that's cool. But I am not too crazy about the whole thing about first billionaire thing. He made a billionaire, because I think we concentrate on it too much. It's all good when the individual makes their own personal successes, but what does that mean for the group? What does that mean for the larger society? And he's from Chi-Town, and it's all good that one individual became a billionaire, and we could clap up to that. But then the rest of Chi-Town is going through craziness. It's nuts that we can praise someone that has so much while the rest of us have so little. And I'm not trying to make Kanye feel bad if he were to listen to this. I'm just trying to say that we gotta refocus ourselves on what is more important. I think we have to focus more on, as I say, community metrics instead of individual metrics, because it does nothing for the greater good, for the greater society, if 1 or 2 people make it out the barnyard. It does nothing. It does nothing for Chi-Town. because there's still killings, there's still murders, there's still thefts and economic what's the word I'm looking for? Economic depression and gangs and all these things, and all of you mix it up and it's craziness. Now, even I forgot the name of the mayor of Chi-Town, but Rahm Emanuel was one. He was right next to the commander-in-chief that everybody wants to, show love to. Obama, my man, left before. I think he left. Rahm Emanuel left before the second term of Obama. He became the mayor of Chi-Town. I'm like, okay, cool. At the time, I'm just like, I don't pass no judgments. I'm gonna see what he gonna do, right? Because he said that everybody was saying Rahm Emanuel was an inside man and he was a mover and shaker and he was a great chess piece for Obama to have. But what happened when he became the mayor? He didn't do shit. He didn't do nothing. Ain't nothing happened even for the last 50 years of Chi-Town being where it's at economically. When he stepped in, it still ain't mean shit. Still ain't nothing happened. And it ain't rocket science to try to figure out what is the troubles that are happening in certain communities. And it ain't rocket science. People ain't got jobs. People don't have anything to go to try to elevate themselves. They don't. That's why you have crime. That's why you have drugs. That's why you have gangs. It ain't rocket science. And then right now, who's the current mayor? What mayor? I think her mayor. Let me see if I can find who the mayor is. And I think I'm thinking of her in my head. Yeah, Lori Lightfoot. That's who I was thinking in my mind. I couldn't remember her name. Yeah, Lori Lightfoot. What's she gonna do? Everybody was praising her being she's the first lesbian mayor, lesbian black mayor. And I'm just looking at the screen like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. What are you gonna do for the people? I don't care about first nothing. What are you gonna do? Because Rahm Emanuel ain't do jack, and Chicago's still going crazy after 50 years of economic depression. Anyway, it stems from Kanye West being a billionaire. So my thing is, I'm more focused on community metrics, not individual metrics. Hand clap to my man Kanye, but the community, the city of Chicago, still has problems. So, So what else is going on? R.I.P. Fred the Godson. He died from coronavirus. Man, I knew about this man for a long time. His name is ringing bells in hip hop, and he's done a lot of, his hustle. He's done his hustle, man. He's done open mics. He's rapped on camera. He was getting his way up, or making his way up the ladder. He was making his way up the ladder. And then he got the COVID thing. And you know what? I saw that he had the COVID, and I was like, man, he'll make it through. I just felt that he'll be out. And then this dude died. It's upsetting, man. So RIP and condolences to family and close friends. And I'd just like to shout out all the healthcare workers, the first responders, everybody on the front line that's still dealing with this. You're giving, putting your life on the line to help others. And there's nothing better than that. There's nothing more noble than doing what you do. So shout out to you, to all of you. What's next? Game. You know what? I found this out, and this was an old release on an article. Everybody knows the Game rapper, and it turns out that this dude lost a court battle with this woman called Priscilla Rainey, and it was a case that was going back for years on an alleged assault in 2015 from her accusation that he grabbed her by the pussy, as everybody knows what that phrase go, and she was accusing him of that, and she won the case. She won his record label and his Born to Rap royalties, and he still has to pay back $7 million. $7 million. She owns everything. She was, gloating on IG and all this, or whatever. It's crazy. Or what was it, Twitter? I don't know. But it's crazy. It's crazy. Now, if he didn't do it, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. if he didn't do it, that he lost he lost everything that he worked for, or all the hard work that he put in and he grinded out on, that he lost it to her, of course, for obvious reasons. And we got to look out for one another when these things happen, especially when it comes to wolves in sheep's clothing, and then a system that really doesn't support or gives adequate justice to black folk in this country. Now, if he did do it, he's fucked up again. And then you have to do your own self-checking. Well, game has to. I'm like, damn, we can't be, because we have a name, whoever that we are, celebrity in the business, just go wild and do things because we have that name. Now, these things happen. You know what I mean? Especially in the Me Too. You just can't do wild things and be like, she ain't gonna do nothing. My name is such and such. Nah, man. We have to be calculated, especially around these times. Brothers, be calculated. Stop doing stupid things, man, because you got a name, because you got success. No, it's not before. It shouldn't have been happening. Look, it shouldn't have been happening before, even when the light wasn't shining on cats. But now that the light is shining, the Me Too has this motion going on, this locomotion going on. You got to be smart. Now, I don't want to hear all that stuff about, them cats, Harvey Weinstein, my white counterpart. They don't know. All right, that's what it is. It's unfair. So now what? Understanding that issue. All right, now put that on the shelf. Now you have to deal with your own self. All right, let's be more honorable to the ladies. Okay, but also you got to be more strategic. We know the game is we know the odds are stacked against us. So you just can't just do wild things, crazy things. Okay? We can't. Case in point, I've said it on the show before, I can't remember. Back in the day in the 80s, the hairband period was rocking. It was rocking. Cocaine, heroin, bourbon, whiskey, messing up hotel rooms, messing up tour buses, spilling out the tour bus to do the show, passing out on stage, going back to the hotel, got all this craziness. Of course, the hotel manager would get upset, call the police, or everything fine. The rock star in the hairband period would throw cash out. All right, I'm sorry, whatever. Here's the money to fix up your hotel room, and things will move on. There's no criminal case. But it's not the same when it comes to hip-hop rappers. It's not the same. Let's be smart about this, man. Because what they do is not the same as what we do. And you can't just have wild and crazy parties and have guns waving. And they did the same thing. Don't get it twisted. Have cocaine on the tour bus and heroin and all this. All doing all the Molly and all this thing. You can do whatever you want because I'm such and such. I sold 10 million records. It ain't the same. And you got criminal actions put against you. Or if you do something to a woman that you're overstepping a boundary, she go run over there in the court. Joe Judge, whatever his name is, you're going to see, damn, that nigga got too much money. Literally, that nigger got too much money. I'm going to show him the way. Boom, drop that gavel on you, and you're losing everything you worked hard for. Let's be smart, brothers. Let's be smart. It's not the same. I'm not saying not to have fun, but be smart in the choices that you're making. Now, how smart can your choices be if you're, high, whatever the case may be? But be smart. I don't know I don't have the answers. I'm just saying, have the right people around you when you know you're overstepping your boundaries. Okay, yo, play it. All right, look. Even if you fucked up, have somebody that's sober. That's why you can afford that team. So if you high, whatever, you smoking, you drinking, you drunk, whatever, you in the club, whatever, have that one dude that's on point and say, hey man, and maybe I don't have an idea about it, because sometimes you could tell your man, yo, if I get crazy, man, just pull me aside and let me. And then when you there, you be like, yo, get off of me. But you told me I don't give a fuck because you high and you drunk. I'm just saying, just be more careful, man. Be more careful, because things can go sideways real quick, and we know it's unfair, and then you still getting hemmed up. Okay, so what else is going on? The government passed or gave the airlines $9.5 billion recently from the payroll support program. So the airline so far has taken $12.4 billion in total, and that was distributed to about 10 major airlines and a few, I think about 80 smaller airlines, under the condition that the companies were told not to cut staff until making that decision by September 30th. And they are also asked to restrict executive payments and not to allow any buyback stock or paying out dividends by getting this money. Wow, so they getting checks cut. And I understand that because we still got to fly from point A to point B. But if the money is going to them, make sure it's going to the people, man. Make sure it's going to the individuals that really need it. Yeah, we do need our infrastructure afloat, and we need to fly from point A to point B, but definitely the people that run these industries are need the assistance as well. And maybe $1,200 may not be enough. Maybe they need a second check cut. So, but yeah, that's some interesting things. How it can go so well for larger corporations, but the people still get stuck. And I will get into more of that a little later. So let me run into the second segment. Before we do, let's get into some music. Let's do this. So we have Megan Alyssa. She's got her song called Last Time off of her project Hit My Line. I forget where she's from, but it's all good. But coming up behind her is Maverick Gawain. We played him before. It is a bonus track. We just want to mix in a little bit of rap music with all the R&B songs that I got right now, but it's all good. I'm not complaining about the R&B songs that I got going on here, but we're going to play Maverick Gawain with A Billion Stars, coming out of Crenshaw, out there in Cali. So listen up to the song Megan Alyssa, Last Time, and we're going to come up with that bonus song with Maverick Gawain, A Billion Stars. All right, guys, turn up the radio.
Can we make love like it's the last time? Put your head on me, now you're all mine. I get the feeling that you're ready, yeah. Okay, tell me what you want, there's nothing that we can't do. Hold me tight like it's the last time. Like it's the last time, yeah. Sex in the Lamborghini, rub it like it's a genie. I know just what you like, baby, turn down the lights. Put on a private show, don't take it slow. When we get low, got my body like, oh, 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 yeah. My body like, oh, 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 yeah. My body like, oh, 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 yeah. My body like, oh, 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 oh. Can we make love like it's the last time? No taking breaks, there ain't no halftime. Don't need no friends, don't need no company. No, don't need no club, don't need no party, just me and you. So make me feel like it's the last time. Like it's the last time. Like it's the last time, yeah, yeah. Sex in the Lamborghini, rub it like it's a genie. I know just what you like, baby, turn down the lights. Put on a private show, don't take it slow. When we get low, got my body like, oh, 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 yeah. My body like, oh, 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 yeah. My body like, oh, 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 yeah. My body like, oh, 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 oh. Can we make love like it's the last time? Yeah, yeah. Put your head on me, now you're all mine, all mine, all mine. Can we make love like it's the last time? Last time, put your head on me, now you're all mine, all mine. We ain't got no time for FaceTime, FaceTime. We can move it like it's last night, last night. I see your body rolling in close. I see the way you're moving and I know the way it goes. Moving your direction and I feel it going slow. But we can move this further, you just gotta let me know. Sex in the Lamborghini, rub it like it's a genie. I know just what you like, baby. Turn down the lights, put on a private show. Don't take it slow, when we get low. Got my body like oh 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 yeah. My body like oh 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 yeah. My body like oh 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 yeah. My body like oh 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 oh. Last time.
Hey, turn it up. GCOM Radio on iHeartRadio.
Just a word from you can light my world with a billion stars and make my dreams come true.
Hey yo, what happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up in the sun? Does it make you turn to drugs? Does it make you grab a gun? Does it make you wanna kill something? Looking at your little one, cause you don't wanna look like a failure when all them bills come. Make you wanna risk your freedom, make you wanna take that risk, cause you done gave it all you had, the results didn't amount to shit. Does it keep you up at night, eyes glued to the ceiling? Does it make you do less praying and do more wishing? Make you call your girl a bitch, even though she hold you down? Feeling low with your potential, know you can't let her down. Does it make it hard to smile? Does it make your heart bitter? Does it make it hard to accept that you an average nigga? Does it make your soul hurt? Make you want to go to church? Bunch of wasted talent, couldn't figure how to make it work. Does it make you lose hope? Struggle just to stay afloat? Whatever it is, I promise you, I don't wanna know. What happens to a dream deferred? What happens to a dream deferred? Is it heavy like a load? Can it make you start drinking? Can it make your head explode? Does it make you start blaming people cause they wouldn't support your vision? Told you they would ride or die, turned around to board a mission. And does it make you start hating, afraid to give a nigga props? Make you wanna play the crib, but make you wanna hit the block? Kick it with the younger niggas, talk about your glory days, talking what you used to have, how you used to have it made. Or does it make you go back home, sleeping on your mama couch, work a bullshit job with hope that you gon' make it out? Or does it make you hate the world, turn you to a pessimist, no time spent with your kids, mad fucking negligent? That doesn't make you run and hide, hoping for some better days, make you start sniffing coke, knowing that pain won't go away? Or does it make you lose hope, struggle just to stay afloat? Whatever it is, I promise you, I don't wanna know.
Light my world with a billion stars and make my dreams come true.
What happens to a dream deferred? What happens to a dream deferred?
This is GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com. Come join, be a lifer. Practice dollar power and build financial independence.
Okay, that was Megan Alyssa with Last Time, and that bonus with Maverick Gawain, $1 billion stars. Two dope artists, man, on the come up. So yeah, let's just run into this second segment. But you know, a part of the second segment coming from the top is business of the week. So check out this young brother and the move that he's making down in Florida. I'm looking forward to picking up a couple of ties myself along the way. All right, let's get into business of the week.
Ladies and gentlemen, what up?
Bringing you the business of the week and its innovative founders. It's what you've been waiting for.
When all calms down after this coronavirus pandemic, we will slowly return to our workplaces. Some work environments require you to have the right attire to be presentable to your coworkers, bosses, and clients. In other scenarios, you may need to look sharp for an event you have been invited to. Fellas, you have the right suit. So now do you need the right tie to match? Peter Jean Marie may be the right choice to make. A young entrepreneur coming out of Naples, Florida, got his degree at Miami International University of Art and Design. Initially starting at a fashion clothing store, this young brother was brave and willing to start his own line. It's even open for women, and as a matter of fact, his main customers are the ladies. Lyfeblood.com would like to congratulate Peter Jean-Marie for taking the leap and starting his fashion brand to rival Ralph Lauren and Calvin Klein. Where can I get to my first tie? Go to peterjeanmarie.store for more info. All right, man. Yeah. So let's roll into the second segment. So I got a couple of things I want to talk about that I've seen. Of course, we're under this lockdown. And what I'm seeing on the news is there are a lot of states, or a few states, that are really opening the doors again and getting the economy started. And that concerned me. And that a couple of governors that are the couple of governors that are spearheading the opening of the states, or reopening of the states, is Governor Brian Kemp of Georgia, Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida, Governor Tate Reeves of Mississippi, and then lastly, this guy, Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. He actually was on an interview with Tucker Carlson, and he said, and I'm going to pull this line, there are more important things than living. More important things than living. Now, a lot of people might say, oh my God, you're just taking one single line off of what he said. You're taking out of context. Okay, so in this article that I read online, this is what he said. And let me see, I quote, in exchange for keeping, let me say, what does it say? In exchange for keeping the America that all America loves, for your children and grandchildren. Let me say, here we go. There are more important things than living, and that's saving this country for my children and grandchildren, and saving this country for all of us. He says, I don't want to die. Nobody wants to die, but my man, he said, but man, we got to take some risks and get back in the game and get this country back up and running. All right. This is what this man said. Now, he said he's willing to take a hit. He's willing to die to get his kids protected, his children, his grandchildren. And you know what? To me, that's just a little bit of that bullshit. Let's be honest. That's a little bit of that. He ain't risking his life. He's just saying that to really soften up what he said by saying that stupid ass line, there are more important things. What is more important? Tell me what's more important than living. You tell me what's more important than living. I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking to everybody out there that's listening to my show right now. I don't care if you from New York, you from California, you from Texas, you're from Florida, Idaho, Montana, Utah, South Dakota, North. What is better than living? You tell me. I'm talking to you guys from Republicans. I'm talking to you Democrats. I'm talking to you centrists. I'm talking to you independents. I'm talking to everybody. What is better than living? You tell me what's better than living. You tell me what's better than living. Can you hear me? Can you hear me out there? You're driving your cars. The laundromat thing is going. You got your kids in the back or the music playing. Somebody's playing music. You listen to me right now. Please, what's better than living? I certainly don't know. I really don't know what's better than living. I know living is better than living. I'd rather be alive. I'd rather be alive. Now, this guy is going to say that thing to soften the blow of what he said. He knows what he's saying. He's going to say that from his perch. You know who he's talking to? He's talking about to all you young, working class, blue collar people. That's who he's talking about. He wants you to go back to work to make him some money. If not make him some money, his comrades or his ilk or the people in his group, in his circle that he sits down in these cigar rooms. Make sure you make them money. He's there for them. He's not there for you. He could give a damn about what you do with your life. He don't care if you go to work and risk your life and you die. He's gonna say, "Oh man, it's terrible. Oh man, oh my flowers to all these people that died, and we're trying to restart the economy. It's terrible." He's not putting himself back out there. You tell me. Is he putting himself back out there? His family members, the one that are 18 and older, is he putting them out there in the mix of it? No, he's not gonna do that. He's got to keep the machine going. So people have to be able to read between the bullshit. Okay? They are in pain. Let me say that. P-A-I-N, in pain for giving this money out. It's been said, I think, by Mitch McConnell. Oh my God, we're paying people to stay home. They don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. Now, it's funny. I saw this meme. on IG, and it was interesting. Now, I know I'm going to tell people right now, I get caught up in it. I don't believe everything that I see or hear on the internet. So I always try to be very careful of what I internalize. But I had to share it myself because to me it made sense as far as why they're reopening the states. And in some ways it's not ignorant. It can be very calculated. Now I say this is a breakdown from what's going on, and I found it on my Twitter. This meme says, Governor Brian Kemp of Georgia says, Kemp mandates restaurants to reopen. Whether he in particular, a restaurant owner wants to open or not. So this person, this business owner of this restaurant, wants to file for a business interruption insurance or whatever it is from the relief fund to help out small businesses. But it doesn't go through because technically the governor allowed for these restaurant owners to reopen, to operate at full capacity. So he doesn't, quote unquote, qualify. The next line says, my landlord can't demand all their money since I am allowed to fully operate. My landlord can demand all their money. There's no holding things off, going to the banks and, oh, well, you know what? My people can't, they can't pay their rent. So can I get my mortgage deferred on my property? If you got 100 units, you can't get that because their tenants have to go to work. The door is open for them to go to work. So you can ask for your rent. Furloughed staff that's collecting unemployment insurance has to come back to work or they have to be let go. So if furloughed staff is saying, hey, they're guaranteed a job. All right, you could come back. Whoa, I don't want to come back because it's still kind of crazy out there. Then the air unemployment goes on the jobs tab. It's not any more money that you can get from the government because the state has reopened. So there's no need. You're generating revenue. So if things blow up again, what happens? They're still on the tab, but not on the state, since they are no longer employed. Since their employees are no longer employed. Listen, I'm afraid about this COVID thing. All right, I want to go. You got to go on unemployment, but they can't get no more money from the government. It's got to come out of their pocket. Now, it's very strategic. It's very strategic. It's not a foolish thing. It's the same thing as saying they're not going to tell you no. They're not going to say no. States are not going to cut off aid because it makes them look like they just don't care, which I already know they don't care. Or callous or something like that. Go to work. Crazy? We can't give you this money. Send your people back to work. It makes you look like a demon, right? So they won't do it like that. But what they'll do is reopen the states. Now you have a kind of a loophole to say, well, the states are reopened and we're trying to get things back. So technically, we really don't have to offer you any of this money anymore. It's crazy what's happening. And it's about screwing over the small business and screwing over the blue collar worker. I mean, they're throwing you into the fray. They're throwing you into the fire. And whoever dies, dies, man. That's just what it is, right? To me, it's premature to try to restart the economy when we're not out the woods yet. I said that as something on my IG. You cannot rush nature. You cannot plant during a drought. You can't. You have to allow nature to come back or use your technology to circumvent that. So you cannot rush what's happening out there. I take this economy like a 5-tier Jenga tower. I play, my kid just got Jenga, so we play a multicolored Jenga, which I've never seen before. It's pretty cool. But I remember the old Jenga was a little bit taller, and it was just wood, made out of wood. And when I take this economy like a 5-tier Jenga tower, and right now it's been broken down to level 2 because of this COVID thing. But people are trying to rush back to work. The states are trying to get you to get back to work. The governors and the president and all the senators, we gotta get this economy running again. Let's go. But what is the risk when you try to get everybody to go back to work when we're still in the middle of this fire, this inferno with COVID? You run the risk of reinfecting the masses and bringing on a second wave. And you may say you go out there and things are going well and the economy is doing well and you start having a slow uptick of people that are infected, 1 or 2 people dying or whatever. But then eventually it's going to implode on itself when that wave comes crashing on the shores of the society. And instead of it being at the 2nd tier and you built up to the 4th tier, it is literally going to implode and destroy the whole tower. You're going to have pieces falling off the table. So all that hard work, you're trying to get the economy restarted and chugging it along. All you're doing is creating more mass hysteria, more infected, more deaths, and it's going to crumble the economy right off the table. So all that hard work you're doing is all for naught. It's all for naught. We cannot be foolish. To me, it's about the elite not wanting to give out more money. Crazy? They don't want to give no more money. Oh yeah, they'll find the trillions for war. Oh yeah, they'll find that money for other things that benefit certain other folks. But when it comes to the hardworking people that's allowing them to be billionaires, we'll have people staying home. We can't have that. We can't give out any more money. They can find this money for the mega corporations to prop them up. And you know what? I don't want to make it seem like it's like the evil mega corporations. Maybe so. Let me try to be devil's advocate this time around. Business is business. You make a product or a service, it does real well. People buy your product or service. You swell to your customer base is in the state and in several states, and all of a sudden you're a national company that's making multi-millions of dollars per quarter. Oh my God, now it's international market. You swell to billions of dollars. That's just the course of business, right? Was it intended for companies to be this big? They're a big part of the American economy. They're like many economies in themselves. You know what I mean? They're many economies in themselves, and they're a huge chunk of the overall economy. And then all of a sudden, when you have something like this, COVID-19 comes around and things start to fall apart, you cannot allow these mega corporations to fall apart because it employs so many people. So much money is given into the states. even though they avoided taxes or pay little to no taxes, right? They're kind of like McMansions. You know, from what I understand, mansions are huge 20-bedroom homes that are sitting on acreages and all that, and that became too big, and people have these McMansions where they're like half the size. They still have the architect like the mansions as we know, like the columns in the front on the front porch, and they have but it's just downsized a little bit. It's kind of like that. There are many little mini economies, but big chunks of it. So if they fall apart, then all of a sudden, you know, you don't have people flying. You don't have the ports open, and you can't get goods to the States and all these things. So I do understand they are an integral part of the economy functioning, but at the same time, they're being treated as they come first and foremost instead of the people that drive these mega corporations to make billions of dollars. So again, our focus is in the wrong place. We're more focusing on money and propping up this free market instead of the people, the flesh and blood people that are the ones that are driving or exchanging this money. That makes this economy what it is. And it's greed, man. Greed is real, man. Greed is real. You can feel it. You can feel the greed. It's like a heat from a lamp. You know exactly where this greed is coming from when you hear them complaining. You can follow it right to the source. It pains them to do this. You can follow if you're paying attention. I'm not talking about those people that are in Michigan, that are in Florida, that are in Georgia, whatever, Mississippi, and they're doing all these protests. Like, oh my God, it's this tyranny. I'm not talking about that. That's a whole nother. People have talked about that enough. That's the old cult following that this guy Trump has. It doesn't matter what he does. He's driving. They're going to follow him, and that's a whole nother conversation. There's nothing that this man can do that no, he's doing fine. This dude is literally cracking this earth in half, and you have people like, yeah, he's doing fine. So I think we got to take this time to reset, redo, and refocus. And what I was talking about with Kanye, we have to refocus more on group metrics instead of individual metrics. And we got to stop praising people that make untold, ungodly amounts of money. And then let's start worrying about the health of the community. If you're a billionaire, you're a billionaire. That's fine. But I don't think I should have like barrels and barrels of apples and there's people that are starving. I can't understand the logic of it. I really don't. If I got 20 barrels of full to the top, to the brim of apples, and then there's people that are starving eating off a half an apple, I just can't see it. To me, it's idiotic. If you put that as a picture out and put it out across the internet, that's exactly what it is to be a billionaire. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with being a billionaire because I see that's where potentially this company can go to be $1 billion company. But to me, it's not about concentrating that wealth. I think the value in it being $1 billion company is the people themselves. Without the people, it's nothing. So that's where I feel that Lyfeblood steps in. And then this thing is, it's not about giving fish away. And I love that how that saying goes. You could give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day. Teach a man how to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. That's what it's about. That's where Lyfeblood comes in, even if it valuates at $1 billion. Because it's all up to you. You can do it yourself. Here's the platform, but you can do it yourself. And I've always said the other saying for Lyfeblood.com, this is not about the exchange of money. This is not a business exchanging money. This is a business on self-actualization. Realize your own power and take it upon yourself to figure out where you're going to go in this. Now, I saw Boozy's on Vlad TV, and he was like, man, this money drying up. This COVID thing is removing the back end, and I'm understanding the back end. He means the back end is the club money, $85,000, $90,000 a week, however many shows you're doing. Now that's dried up. Case and cats are going back to the streets. No, you don't have to go back to the streets, man. The technology is there. Now you have to redirect your fan base, redirect your people and say, hey, man, this thing is dried up, but this is how we can do it. This is how we do it. Boom, 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 boom. This is how Lyfeblood comes into play. As I said before many a times on the show. So you don't got to go back to the streets. You go back to the streets, man, it's a wrap. You're going to mess up that opportunity that God gave you. You just got to give them a new structure. We got to stand on a new infrastructure on how, in particular, music is going to make money. Artists is concerned. But not just of music. You could be anything as far as Lyfeblood.com, whether you're a physicist or anything. It's the reset, it's the redo, and Lyfeblood would be the platform for that. So I'm going to head out here, go into the second segment. But right before I do, there's this other meme that came out, and it's a funny thing, and I shared it on my IG, and I'm gonna share it with you when I'll go right into this music. Now they say it's interesting in this meme. It said traffic is gone, gas is affordable, bills extended, kids are at home with their families, parents are home taking care of their children, fast food is replaced by home cooked meals, hectic schedules replaced by naps, rest, and relaxation. The air seems cleaner, the world is quieter, people are conscious about hygiene and health. Money doesn't seem to make the world go round anymore. Doctors and nurses are being praised and recognized instead of athletes and celebrities, and we now have time, finally, to stop and smell the roses, the positive side above all, while we're dealing with this COVID-19 deal. I think that was a straight up beautiful meme. This is the reset, folks. How are you going to reclaim and reshape your life? All right, so into this next song, we have Mannequin. She's coming out of the DMV. Her influences, she throws in a lot of musical theater, jazz, funk, soul, avant-garde, and her musical inspirations is Duke Ellington, Erykah Badu, Jill Scott, Phyllis Hyman, and Liza Minnelli. I like what she's bringing to the table. Her artist name is Mannequin, and her song is Run. And right behind this lady is Cullen Emadrey. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, young brother. Cullen Emadrey. He is a singer-songwriter and a producer coming out of Detroit, Michigan. His song is called Pullin' Up Wassup, featuring Lando, Ameen. So let's check out Mannequin with Run, and we're going to run right up to this brother, Cullen Emadrey, with Pullin' Up Wassup. Let's check these two artists out.
Word around town, you been out in the streets, man out here cheating on me. Lying in the street, and baby, I just can't believe it. Quit the plan now, what's it gonna be? Yeah, I'm an independent lady, stack my money, I ain't lazy. Fuck the pride, I need to know the truth. Cause I'm a sick and daddy, strong and brilliant. I'm a baddie, fool me once, now the joke's on you. Queen, what you say? You ain't even sorry, you just sorry, you got gone, baby. You better bump his head. Send me the excuses, ain't been losing any sleep lately. Mr. Law, you've been retired right now. My honey, time to kill the fun. Up here thinking that you really want. I'm a down-ass chicken, ain't taking no listen, no man. Cat got your tongue, stuttering now. Going out there, you got your freedom bound. Baby, just know you and me and you are done. So get the hell out of here and run. You true love, I never knew you'd be out here.
Listen up. Turn up.
You're listening to GCOM Radio.
From the start, boy, I glowed up and now I see. So rise over, move over. You really played with me. Time after time you escaped to me, but you never replaced me. What you say? You ain't even sorry, you just sorry you got gone, baby. You better bump his head. Send me the excuses, ain't been losing any sleep lately. It's time to pay the piper, Mr. Law, you've been retired right now. My honey, time to kill the fun. I feel thinking that you really want. I'm a down-ass chicken, ain't taking no wish from no man. Got your tongue, you stuttering now. Going out there, you got your freedom bound. Baby, just know you and me and you are done. So get the hell out of here and run.
You heard it here first, folks. Where else can you hear the latest? You know the show. Say it.
While you've been away, I've been laying here all day. I thought about what it'd be like to be yours. Can I pull up overnight? You know I'm feeling for you. I said I wouldn't, I don't care. Let my body do the talking. And you got me crazy like I'm on one. Love me all night. I can't explain the way you made me feel inside. Ooh. It reminds me of another time when I called you mine. Can I call you my one last time? I wanna change, but you know I still belong to you. You don't measure up. Me, there's only one. We not meant to be. Don't need you back. You can have it when I'm done. Pulling up a sub. Pulling up a sub.
You should know I ain't felt this way before. You the type I take it slow. You the dash, you the rain. Hydro, plane. I know that nigga and I'm not the same. I fumbled it first time round, girl, goddamn. This ain't no game, this ain't no playtime. You got me all lit, up through the late night. Falling, we do it often, then I fall asleep. And you check my text, then we fall out. Now you hate me, now it's fuck me, now I hate you. Then we throw away what we been through, like yeah. I ain't even gonna lie, tired of getting tired of these bitches. Especially when you in my mind and I only see you in my vision. 2020 vision, you all that I'm missing. Ain't no competition, oh yeah, 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 yeah.
You don't measure up, you don't measure up. Me, there's only one. We not meant to be, don't need you back. You can have it when I'm done. Pulling up a sub. Pulling up a sub. I'm already on the way, what's up? Pulling up a sub. Pulling up a sub. I'm already on the way, what's up?
Okay, that was Mannequin with Run and Cullen and Emadrey with Pullin Up Wassup featuring Lando and Ameen. All right, man. I see it. Go to their websites. All you got to do is Google a name or go to the IG accounts when it's posted on my IG account, and you could click the link. I'm joining words here. Clink. You could click the link and you can go right to their projects and check them out and understand where they're coming from, their music and everything. So shout out to both of them. Shout out to Mannequin and to Cullen. All right, so before we go into the last segment of the show, you know what we got to do here. Let's go into the news you need to know. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, around the world and right in your neighborhood, it's the news you need to know.
NASA makes a better ventilator for COVID-19 patients. NASA engineers designed a ventilator with less moving parts in order to prepare for a possible second wave of the coronavirus. It will get emergency approval by the Food and Drug Administration. The machine is called Vital, Ventilator Intervention Technology Accessible Locally. A prototype was tested at the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai in New York, where the school's human simulation lab simulated a range of patient conditions. The machine will cost between $2,000 to $3,000. Not only was the design chosen to have fewer parts, but also relying on different machinery. The primary objective is to manufacture this machine without interrupting the production from the conventional ventilators. Quote, "The one horrific decision I never want to have to make is who gets a ventilator and who doesn't," Dr. Human Poor, a physician at Mount Sinai, says. That would be a horrifying situation. Virtual museums for people to visit. Being on lockdown has depressed some, but also inspired others to be creative while they're at home. Even businesses have been creative in how they can keep people busy while staying at home. Museums in particular. The larger attractions with the budget can be seen online, like the Louvre, Metropolitan Museum of Art, and the Vatican. However, there are smaller ones that can be just as interesting. The Neon Museum in Las Vegas reserves and displays iconic Las Vegas signs of yore in a massive outdoor exhibition space called the Neon Boneyard. There is a Tim Burton installation on view with his art sprinkled throughout the museum and the alien dudes from his 1996 movie Mars Attacks. The Mutter Museum in Philadelphia, PA. Its mission is to help the public appreciate the mysteries and beauty of the human body while understanding the history of diagnosis and treatment of disease. Star Trek Original Series set tour in Ticonderoga, New York. The Museum of Broken Relationships. It's a physical and virtual museum with the sole purpose of collecting, treasuring, and sharing stories of heartbreak. And the Museum Hike. Ghost towns in Nevada. You can embark on nearly 24 different virtual treks, including a handful that let you explore ghost towns. A unique and interesting activity in between ghost towns. It's a unique and interesting activity in between watching TV and playing video games at home. And that is the news you need to know. Yeah, man. So that was cool. I'm definitely going to check out what's going on these online museum exhibits. That sounds pretty interesting. And looks pretty interesting. I'm going to check it out. Especially on the screen now. I got a new computer. It's iMac. I think it's an i5, I believe. 27-inch, man. Oh, man. It's staring in my face right now. It's like towering in front of me. I gotta get a new table. I want to get the mic arms where I can, like, it's articulated and I can move around with it. Sometimes I feel like I'm just like up on the screen now that I have this new computer. I feel like I want to distance myself from it because I'll be thinking about radiation and stuff like that. And plus, I just want to be more mobile as I'm talking to you guys. All right, so in this last segment, I say that as we're home chilling out, a lot of things, we're doing a lot of things, but I gotta say this: now that we're home chilling out, while we're going through all this, we're doing a lot of things. But especially what we're doing is a part of that is gaming. Now, I'm bringing up gaming because my guy that I know that I'm connected to on social media, he's playing this thing, doing this thing on, I forgot what game he's playing. He was playing, I think it looked like Call of Duty. I'm like, damn, that's you? I still, even all this, as much as I've been doing this as far as video, I'm still trying to figure out how they get the video itself on the IG thing. So I got to figure out. I've been busy doing other things, so I really need to take my time to try to understand how people do that. These gamers do that, these professional gamers. So, gaming is a big thing. I used to be a big gamer back in the day, in my early 20s, but I've just been busy. And I love gaming. Don't get me wrong. I still would love to game. I had a computer back in the day. It was an IBM, one of the first back in the 80s. I thought a lot of people had computers, but they didn't. And then all of a sudden I got a hold of the Nintendo. And then after Nintendo was later on a PlayStation, much in my 20s. And then I didn't get an Xbox. I just stuck with the PlayStation. And that's it. I was a gamer, man. I got into gaming, but then I just slowly kind of peeled away from that because I just been so busy. But I do check out trailers every now and then. And so I gotta say, some of the games that I'm looking forward to, even though I'm not playing it, but I'm looking forward to coming out, because I was also thinking about getting a game system for my kid. And she's 8, and she's getting into this thing called Roblox, and she's playing with her family, her cousin, and stuff like that. And I've just been thinking, man, maybe I should get her a game system, like, you know what I mean, so she could really play games with her cousin. And I don't find it's crazy. So of course, you know, I'm gonna probably slip in a game for myself. And I checked out a couple of these games. Like, a couple of these games that I've seen I'm interested in is Dying Light 2. Oh, no, is it this right? Yeah, Dying Light 2 that's coming out, made by Techland. This game came out in like 2015, 2018. It's like a horror action adventure game, open world games with zombies, and what's different about this game, it has day and night cycles. And so I'm hopefully that's how the game's played. From me seeing the gameplay, me seeing the trailer, looks pretty interesting. So you're this guy called Kyle Crane, and he infiltrates like a quarantine zone in the city of Haran. So inside, you're doing a number of missions that ties into the main storyline. And the game got positive reviews and was set for, for 2. So I guess it just continues expanding the storyline from the original one. Of course, you got zombies and all this and enemies. So I checked out a lot of things, a lot of these games, and it seems like a lot of these games, the games that do real well are the zombie games. And like, it's amazing. I guess they're kind of like floating off the energy of The Walking Dead. So, but I'll be interested to see about this Dying Light game. Another game that I'm interested in is Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I think it's a great game that me and my kid could play. It's done by Moon Studios. And I like real artsy games, man. It doesn't always have to be shoot 'em up on RPG games and all that. It kind of gets old. So I kind of tie into these real artsy, the colors are vibrant and the artwork is just, sometimes you pay attention to that more than the actual gameplay. And Ori and the Will of the Wisps, it's like, it's done, let me see here if I'm correct. The first story, because there was another one before the Will of the Wisp. So it's about you're in this blind forest and you're this cat-like spirit that glows, and you're set off to save the forest from corruption. So what happens is what happened in the first game is, I guess there was this bird or something like called Mother Naru, and you're whatever, I guess, this monster that you killed, you're taking care of the baby of the monster that you killed in the first one as Ori. So you're taking care of this owl hatchling, and I could be messing up this game entirely because I never heard of this game until now, and I found it when I was looking up the games of 2020. So anyway, you're chilling with this hatchling. The hatchling can't fly. This owl hatchling can't fly, and then the Ori gives him some magical feather, and the hatchling attaches it to the wing, and now it's able to fly, and you fly out as Ori with this bird, his hatchling, and then the storm comes, and the storm is related to the darkness that you were fighting in the first game, and then you get, Ori and the hatchling get separated and blown miles apart, and then the whole mission is you playing Ori trying to find the little hatchling, and that's how this whole gameplay happens. Go check it out. Check out the trailer, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. It's a beautiful looking game, man. The art is crazy. So the next one is the Final Fantasy game remake and Resident Evil 3. Everybody knows what that is. Resident Evil 3 is with the zombies. Final Fantasy is all about fantasy, and I was never really into Final Fantasy back when it first came out, probably because it just didn't grab me. The later ones, as video game technology got better, I was like, oh, that's kind of fly. Okay, cool. But they're still riding with this Final Fantasy game, man. So check that out. And I've always been a Resident Evil fan. That's one of the games that I had when I was younger in my 20s. Scared the shit out of me. You can't play Resident Evil at night by yourself. Me, a grown ass man in my 20s, scared of playing Resident Evil in my room at the time. But they're continuing with that. The next one is one of my personal favorites that I haven't played, but hopefully, if this gaming system comes up, that's one of the games that I will get on when I have free time. The Last of Us Part 2 by Naughty Dog. Of course, it's a post-apocalyptic world. You're the main dude. In the first one, you're Joel, and then it's again more hostile humans and zombies again, a la The Walking Dead. And you're escorting this young girl. You have to take this young girl. She's infected. Everybody's infected, and they turn into these zombies. And she happens to be immune to it. And you have to take her to this next group that's going to extract the white blood cells or whatever from her to create a vaccine. So anyway, that was the first game. And correct me if I'm wrong. The first, if I'm wrong, Ellie or whoever, that was an actress of the well-known actress that was from the Marvel X-Men movies, and she was in a lot of other movies, short in stature, and they use her face as Ellie. Correct me if I'm wrong, then I'm seeing a whole nother face. Anyway, so in the second one, Ellie's much older, 5 years after the fact. She's 19. Something happens where she's living in this enclave of people just living out their lives. And now something happens where she has to go out on this adventure to find these Fireflies. That's this rebel group. So they're like factions all over the place in this, in this crazy post-apocalyptic world. So she has to go out and seek out revenge. So I think the group that she has to seek revenge on is the Seraphites. So that's going to be interesting. I would love to get a hold of that game. I've seen the gameplay with that, The Last of Us Part 2. I think it's later on in the year in September that it's going to drop. And then the other game is Cyberpunk 2077 made by CD Projekt Red. Now, this game is a futuristic game. You're the main character, V, a smuggler, going out smuggling some implant that it's very important to the players, not the players, the people functioning, but to the actors in the game, the players or whoever the story characters are. And you're smuggling this important implant chip, and it's supposed to be mad nice. I saw the trailers. That's another stunning game. The imagery is crazy. Much props to the people that put that game together. And what made it extra interesting, Keanu Reeves is one of the main characters. So that's going to be dope. Cyberpunk 2077, check out. And last but not least, another dope game that it goes down, it's a legendary game. Kind of like Final Fantasy and Resident Evil 3. One of my favorites that I played many, and spent many hours at my boy's crib playing. All of us, it was like 4 of us. And it was Halo. Halo, it was, man, when this game came out, man, it just broke the mold, man. Even going back to the first Halo game, Red Team, Blue Team, all that, the weaponry, the alien weaponry, the Marine weaponry, whatever the faction was. But yeah, I kind of lost touch with Halo, but I've kind of kept my eye from far away. But this time they came out with Halo Infinite. That's coming out in 2020. And some people didn't like 4 and 5. I don't know why. I didn't get into specifics. But they weren't too crazy about 4 and 5. But now they're coming with Halo Infinite. And it's going to be focusing more on Master Sergeant. Of course, that's the dude that's genetically enhanced. And he's the main guy that you are going through this alien world. And I'm going to be really interested in seeing that. Now, some of the critics are like, they better do right to this game because the last couple games people really didn't like. So that's going to be interesting. And that's one of the definite games I'm going to have on the list. I'm not going to go balls out and get 7 games. I just don't have that time. I'm so involved with Lyfeblood and GCOM Radio and all that. But when I do have downtime and I'm chilling, I think those are the games again. I think definite games is Call of Duty, Cyberpunk, The Last of Us Part 2, and Halo. Probably 3. I'll whittle it down to 3, because these games are so immense, man. These games are the worlds are so huge that it's not something you could just turn over quick. These games, it's going to take you months. I got to talk to my nephew. I talked to my nephew, and he plays that game. Sometimes he be knocking them games out. I'm like, God damn, bro. But I guess that's the time that you have when you're a teenager. You ain't got nothing but time. What are you gonna do but homework and get on the friggin' Xbox? But yeah, man, he got that time for that. But I guess I'll get a hold of those games. I have to see whether it's gonna be PlayStation or if it's gonna be Xbox. I'm gotta see which gaming console now rules the market as far as Emadrey and what they probably still like neck and neck. You know, it's only 2 gaming systems out there that's really doing their thing. I remember Nintendo Cube. They tried to come out with Cube, and that was a novel idea, but that just couldn't match up to PlayStation and Xbox. And really, that's it. That's only I think Nintendo is coming out with a new gaming system actually along the lines of Xbox and PlayStation. I'm not sure, but those are the games I'm gonna get, man. I'm gonna be looking forward to that. I want to get it for my kid come this summer or something like that. I don't know, you know, I fear that I'm not gonna have time. I'm gonna buy 2 games, and those games are just gonna be it's gonna be sitting there, and I'm like, damn, I'm probably gonna get like 20 minutes of game time all together. Because I'm just really focused on this business, man. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for listening to me. I appreciate it. Check out Lyfeblood.com, of course. Be a lifer. Create your network. Build your passion. This is an opportunity, as I said, the big RESET, the big reset, and you can shape your life. I can't teach you how to fish, but at least I can bring you to the pond where you can get fish from, and the rest is up to you. And maybe you could teach me how to fish. You could teach me some things, because I don't know everything. And that's the beauty about having this social platform, that I want to invite people that I have no idea what their business is, but whatever their contribution is to this next beautiful movement that I'm building here for humanity, you can add on and bring me into your world. And I would love to speak to somebody at NASA, man. That's, to me, it'd be beautiful to have someone that's from NASA or at the Large Hadron Collider or any one of these new tech companies with cars. And I think it would be dope just to see what's this new thing, a new technology is coming up. Or maybe you're starting something that rivals Tesla. Yo, I would love to meet people like that, man, and go to their R&D. Definitely, Lyfeblood is going to have his own R&D department too as well. We'll get more into that later as we grow. But yeah, man, just to talk and build with people, man, and be like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm like, yo, that's lovely. Yo, join Lyfeblood.com, man. Let's see if we get this network to help support your new tech. Man, that'd be dope. And it would be dope. That's one of the big dreams is to have Lyfeblood logo or brand on the side of a SpaceX mission, man. I think that would be dope, because that's so in line as far as what Lyfeblood is trying to bring to the people, and to see that go into outer space, when we always promote, we always talk about the global community. That's what it's about, man. So that would be a beautiful thing. That would be a beautiful thing. Yeah. Anyway, please join in and let's talk. So I'll see you guys next week. I appreciate it. Everything that you are, even if you listen to the show for 15 minutes and wherever, middle, beginning, or end, I do appreciate it. And let's start over, man. Start it over with me. All right. I'm out, y'all. Peace.
Check it.
You just listened to GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com for the global community.
We worldwide, baby.
See you in the next go round. From right here to your town. We out.